All right, hello yogis. Okay. You will see when you jump on, say hey in the comments. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. All right. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing? Happy Friday. How are you all feeling? Crazy, crazy, crazy season, right? Like every day, just taking it day by day, sometimes hour by hour, and that's all we can do, right? That's all we can do. This week was kind of crazy, so hopefully this yoga, at least for me anyway. Hi, Stacy. How are you? Crystal, Racina, when you guys jump on, say hey, give me some love in the comments, tell me what you guys are up to. This is going to be a restorative rest and restore yoga for 50 minutes. So it's going to be very mellow, not a lot of fast movement. Hi, Kaylee. Not a lot of fast movement, just very, very calming. You should feel really juicy and relaxed after it's all said and done. So just, if you have some water, grab some water, mat and a blanket. If you have a blanket, that would be really good. If you have a block, that's good too, but a blanket, and a block and your mat, of course, and we will go ahead and get started. I posted the playlist link for the music. If you guys want to put that on in the background, please do. Otherwise, we will go ahead and get started. We'll give it here just maybe one more minute. Make sure everything is live and ready to rock. And it looks like we are good to go. I'm assuming we are, even though my computer is doing some weird stuff at the moment. But we'll just go with it. We're gonna just roll with it here. Roll with the flow. All right, you guys. And if you have any questions about anything, go ahead and type them in the comments. I will get to the questions after we're done with our practice. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. We're gonna start in a child's pose today. So go ahead and send your knees wide. Bring your toes together to touch on the mat. And then just go ahead and send your arms long. You can go ahead and take a child's pose. No waiting for me here with my hair. Go ahead and send your fingertips wide on the mat. Knees are wide, toes are touching. And then just go ahead and let your chest sink down into the mat. Let the forehead come down on the mat. And just start to find your breath. Take a deep inhale. And a deep exhale. Deep inhale again. Audible exhale. Roll the forehead right to left. And just focus on taking a lot of open mouth exhales. We're really sinking into these poses. Deep breathing, full belly breaths. Maybe rocking the hips right to left, letting everything kind of sink down a little bit more, a little bit further into gravity. Big open mouth exhales. And then from here, go ahead and take the right palm and send it underneath your left arm. Right hand up to the sky, right ear down to the mat. And just simply rest here. Breathe. like a child's pose with a twisted variation or thread the needle variation. If you really want to take this a little bit further and deepen the twist, you can take that left hand and bring it up at the low back. That might feel better on your shoulder. And just breathe. Focus on the breath. Open mouth exhales. And if you took the bind with the low arm, with the back at the low arm at the low back, place the arm back up, the left arm, and then release the right arm, sending the left hand underneath the right, left palm to the sky, left ear to the mat. Relax. Hold here for a couple breaths. And if you took the bind on the other side, go ahead and do that here. Trying to lift that right shoulder up a little bit more to deepen into this twist if that feels good. And then slowly release the bind. Plant the palms evenly. And then from here, what we're going to do is bring the forehead down to the mat. And then you're going to look back at your heels and kind of lift your glutes up off the heels. Grab back for the heels with both of your hands. And then let the forehead come down on the mat. So this might feel a little bit more restorative on the shoulders. So grab your heels really tightly. With the forehead down, I want you to think cat pose. Inhale, lift the glutes up, round in the spine and the neck, and then come back down. We're going to do that again. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come down. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come down. And just stay here for a breath. And then slowly release the hands. Plant the palms evenly and travel very gently up into a tabletop position. Shoulders over the palms, hips over the knees. Perfect. And we're going to start to awaken the spine just a little bit here, very gently. Inhale, lift the gaze. Push the belly button down. Exhale, round in the spine. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Perfect. And then getting some big hip circles, working into the side bodies a little bit. Just push the hips back towards the heels and in a big circular motion. And back and forth. Take it around the other direction a couple times. Back and forth here. Just really getting playful and organic, doing what feels good for you here. It's perfect. And then we're going to go ahead and stretch the wrists out. Go ahead and paw down at the mat so that your fingertips come all the way back towards, pointing towards your body. So you have this nice stretch in the wrist. And then you're going to go ahead and play around with just pushing the weight back towards the heels and then in towards the wrists a little bit. So just kind of have a very gentle rocking motion back and forth towards the front of your mat and the back of your mat, just to kind of stretch the wrists out a little bit here, very gently. And maybe go right to left, see how that feels. Right to left, very gently, maybe in a circular motion if that feels good. Back and forth, breathing. And then slowly release. Paw back at the mat so that the fingertips are pointing forward. And we're going to just take a little bit of an attempt here. I want you to reach the right hand forward, left leg back. Spinal balance here. Nothing too crazy. Just breathe through it. Inhale. And exhale. Try and lift the foot and the arm a little bit more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach the hand up and around. Grab for the foot behind you. Nice gentle quad stretch here, very gently. Pull the heel into the glute. Breathe. One more breath. Exhale it out. And then slowly release the arm up and around and release back to the tabletop. Same thing on the other side. Left arm goes forward, right leg goes back. Feeling engaged in the core, keeping the arm and the leg lifted just to build a little bit of heat here in the glute and the arm and the shoulder. Deep inhale, deep exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, up and around, grabbing for the foot behind you. Quad stretch on this side. Breathe. Pull that heel into the glute to really get into that right quadricep. Exhale. Deep inhale. And exhale, controlled release. Slowly come back. From here, in a tabletop position, just step the feet or the knees so that they're a little bit wider than hips with distance. Your toes are tucked, and then step your hands about one hand width forward. You're gonna think downward facing dog. We call this puppy pose. So your toes are tucked. It's kind of like a child's pose, kind of like a down dog. It's a little bit more lifted than a child's pose. Your head may come all the way down to the mat if you really want to get into your shoulder stretches. Or you can just let the head float and just stay right here, breathe. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, peel the chest, come forward. And then your hands and your feet should almost be in the proper alignment. Just step back into a high plank so you have the right alignment for the hands and the feet, and then press down into downward facing dog. Hips go high to the sky. Pedal out the feet, wag your tail. The chest should shift towards your thighs. If that means bending your knees, that's totally fine. Just feet are hip width distance. Let the chest sink further and further down towards the mat and towards the thighs. So back and down. Breathe. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Inhale, lift the right foot up, and then high plank. Keep the right foot hovered, and you're gonna bend it in and then place the right ankle on top of the left knee. So kind of in a figure four, okay? And then we're just shifting forward and slowly lowering down, keeping the placement of the ankle, and then you're gonna come all the way down to your mat. So we're kind of in this restorative posture here. Your forearms can stay on the mat, or you can come all the way down, bringing the chin to the mat. Your right knee should be out. You should feel this in the right hip. Just breathe here. Try and let that right hip sink down into the ground. Really feeling that hip start to open up, that hip flexor. Might feel it in your groin as well. Just breathe through it. Perfect. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. You're going to slowly push yourself up. High plank with that figure four, making that connection strong, and then just stepping the foot back, downward facing dog. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Inhale the left leg high, and then high plank with the left leg lifted. Place and cross that left ankle on top of the right knee, figure four, and then however you need to slowly get down in to the posture. It's kind of like a figure four on the ground. Just a really restorative posture here to let that left hip open up a little bit gently, and then slowly sinking down in. Breathe here. Again, trying to let that left hip sink down into the ground instead of letting it rise and lift up. Just let gravity take hold and really let it sink down in. Breathing, always inhales and exhales. Perfect. Breathe into that hip a little bit more. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Flip that long right toe and then lift up, use the core, send that left foot back, downward facing dog. Deep inhale, deep exhale. One more time, inhale and exhale. Inhale, come forward into a high plank, and then you're just gonna step the right foot through to a low lunge. Plant that left foot down, or the left knee rather, and then come up into a crescent moon. So this should feel really nice now that we've opened up our hip and our groin a little bit. So arms come up to the sky, 90-degree bend in that front knee. And then interlace the fingers and bring them down to the top of the right knee, just right onto the thigh. You can start to kind of really push into the leg as you kind of round out and scoop out the belly. Just playing around with the intensification into that hip again, breathing. So good. Deep inhale, deep exhale. And then slowly shift the hips back. Half splits here, straightening that right leg, nice and long. Right toes pointed up to the sky, nice long back, chest is lifted. Breathe. Just starting to get into the hamstrings a little bit. We'll really get into the hamstrings today. Breathe. And then slowly walk your hands back forward. Lift the back knee up off the mat. Plant the palms evenly. High plank. And then just down dog. Send the hips high. Inhale, high plank again. And then just step that left foot forward. Drop the back knee down. Inhale, crescent moon. Arms come up. 90-degree bend in the left knee. Shifting the hips forward. Breathe into it. Deep inhale. Exhale, bring the hands down to the top of the knee. Scoop and round the belly out. The idea here is to be careful not to let the knee pass the ankle. So just keeping that strong 90-degree bend, rounding out in the belly, scooping the belly out as you push the knee forward. And you'll feel that intensification on the right hip. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Perfect. Slowly shift the hips back, half splits on this side. Left leg's nice and long, chest stays lifted, flat back, and then just fold into it. Breathe. Exhale it all out. Walk the hands forward. Lift that back knee, plant the palms, step back into a high plank, and then just drop your knees down. So this one, we're gonna come to sitting on our heels. So just come all the way back to sitting on your heels. We're gonna stretch out our legs a little bit more here. So step your feet so a little bit wider so that you can sit down on the mat, okay? In between your heels. If you have any pain in your knees, this is the part that you need to take the block. If you have a block, and set it underneath of your butt, your sacrum. If you don't have a block and you have a blanket, that works as well. You can set the blanket underneath your sacrum. And the idea is here to find this nice comfortable seat. We're starting to kind of open up the calves. Sometimes I like to push the calves out a little bit to really let my legs really make that tight connection. Breathe here. Exhale. If you want more, if this is a lot and you're feeling it in your legs and your knees, stay right here, don't move. If you want more, wherever you are is exactly where you're supposed to be. You can start to walk the hands back. Breathe. Let the chest come open. Keep the fingertips pointed towards your body, towards the knees. Breathe. Let the chest open. Let the head hang back. If you can come all the way down onto your forearms, that's totally fine. Wherever you are supposed to be is where you are right now. And then slowly come back up, nice and gently. If you have the block underneath of you, go ahead and release that block or the blanket. And then just come slowly to your seat. One leg in front of the other. Have a nice tall spine. Legs are crossed. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Inhale, the arms lift up to the sky. And then exhale, push the air down. Engage the arms like you're pushing weights down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, push. Building a little bit of heat. Inhale up. Exhale, push it down. Inhale up. Exhale, push. Inhale up. Exhale, twist, baby twist over to the right. Right hand comes in front of your body, left hand behind. So nice, gentle twist here, looking over your left shoulder. And then if you want to deepen this, you can place the right hand on top of the left knee and twist a little bit deeper, looking over the left shoulder. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, slowly unwind, lift the arms up. Inhale, big. Exhale, other side. Left hand comes in front of the body, right hand behind you, looking over the right shoulder. Keeping that spine nice and tall, shining energy up and out the crown of your head. Breathe. And then, of course, if you placed the hand on the knee on the other side, go ahead and do that here to deepen. Breathe. And slowly unwind. And then we're going to just fold forward. Inhale the arms up first. Exhale, fold forward, walking the hands long in front of you. Try and keep the sits bones back. If they start to lift up off the mat, you can bring the forearms down if that feels good. Just folding in. One ankle should be in front of the other, not crisscross. It'll help you get a little bit more room to fold. Deep inhale, deep exhale. One more time, inhale. Exhale. And then slowly rise. We're going to straighten the right leg on the mat. Keep the left foot turned in towards your body. And then lift the rib cage up and shift it and rotate it over towards the foot and then fold down. Getting into this side a little bit, this hamstring. Breathe and fold. Focus on the breath. And then go ahead and place the right forearm on the inside of the right calf and lift the left arm up and over. This time rotate the rib cage out, and so that the right side comes underneath the left. The left arm is up to the sky, and then if you want to, of course, you can drop that left arm down, grabbing the foot if you want to, if it's in reach. If not, just keep it here. Most importantly, the thing I want you to focus on is rotating that left shoulder up and around. One more big breath. Lift up. Nice and easy. That feels so good. And then we're going to switch the legs out. This time send the left leg long on the mat. And again, think about lifting up the rib cage, rotating it towards the left, and then sinking the rib cage down and folding. Calming breaths, deep inhales. The most important part of restorative is the breath, allowing everything to just slow down. Place the left forearm on the inside of that left calf, the palm facing up is better. Inhale, right arm up. Again, rotating that rib cage forward so that the left lung is underneath of you. Reaching the right hand up, and then maybe playing with pulling that right arm down, but still keeping the rib cage open. Breathe. Inhale, rise, lift up. Beautiful. And then go ahead and send the legs out long in front of you. Releasing any extra flesh from the sits bones. Inhale, the arms lift. Exhale, fold forward. And breathe. Trying to keep a nice flat back. Fold into it, let the chest sink. Breathe here. Deep exhales. And then slowly rise. And then go ahead and grab your blanket or a block if you have one. If you have a block, this is a really good restorative posture for the opening up the chest. Place the block behind you. You want the block lined up with your spine. So the length of the block goes with your spine. Same thing if you have a blanket, whichever you want to use. We're going to set this up here for a moment. You can place the blanket right behind you or the block. If you have a blanket and a block, you could place the block underneath your head if you want to try on with that. That's fine. Go ahead and slowly bring the base of the blanket, if you're using a blanket, and we're going to come back, soles of the feet to touch, okay? Soles of the feet to touch, and slowly start to just roll back into it. This is a chest opener here. And then you want your arms and your palms to open up to the sky, and then slowly set the head down, and just breathe here. Letting the chest open up, soles of the feet to touch. Very big restorative posture. Just breathe. Resetting the spine. Opening up the heart. So let gravity take hold. Letting the chest open up. The shoulders just fall down to the ground. Breathing into the lungs, breathing into the belly. And then gently, when you're ready, roll off of the blanket or the block. Gently remove that off to the side. And then bring the knees together and the feet to the outer edges of your mat. So you're just, we call this, I think, fallen table or something, I think is what this one's called. Knees together, feet to the outside. Bring your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly and breathe. Inhale strong. Exhale, release. Then go ahead and open your knees up. Bring the right leg, wrap it around the left. Bring your knees together as close as you can. Then your ankles together, and then just let the legs drop over to the left. So your right leg should be on top, legs go to the left. This is a nice gentle twist. You might feel it on the outside of your right hip. Try and keep the right shoulder down into the mat. And breathe. Big breaths here. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. And then slowly come back to center. Unwind the legs. Find first set of happy baby. Grab the inside or the outside edges of the feet. Kick the heels into the sky as you keep the look back down. Maybe rocking right to left. Straightening one leg, then the other. Breathing. Big exhale. Then take the left leg and wrap it around the right. Knees together and then ankles together. And then drop the legs over to the right. Left leg should be on top, legs to the right. Left shoulder down and in. Breathe into this. Feeling into it. These twists are good for our digestion. Moving blood. And breath. Sending new circulation and air through the digestive tract. Inhale, and then slowly come back to center. Unwind the legs and hug the knees into your body. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Hug them in nice and tight, giving yourself a nice squeeze. Then from here, go ahead and send your legs up the wall. And we're just gonna breathe here for a moment. So you can have a micro bend in your knees, but I want you just to let the blood start to rush down. This is a restorative inversion. Just breathe here and flex the toes. or not. Just breathe into the legs. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Release the feet down. And then they're a little bit wider than hips with distance. So we're going to come into bridge pose. Go ahead and bend your knees so much that you can feel your ankles, your heels on the mat. You want to start to lift the pelvis up to the sky. Imagine that you're squeezing a beach ball or something between your thighs. Start to roll the shoulders underneath of you. You can create a fist at the low back. Just make sure you can have a nice, strong breath here. You don't want to close the passageways, so just keep that like there's a line underneath your chin. Lift up and breathe. Trying to lift the pelvis a little higher with each breath. Watching the belly fall and rise. One more attempt. Inhale. Exhale, slowly lower the pelvis down. Bring the knees to touch. And just breathe. Letting the spine catch up. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Inhale, send the legs up the wall again. And then take the left ankle and place it on top of the right ankle and place it on top of the left knee. There we go. And then figure four. So keep the toes flexed here. Reach through, thread the needle, grab that left leg, and then start to gently pull it towards you. Breathe. Toes are flexed to protect that right knee. And then slowly release. Legs up the wall again. And this time, switch it out. Left ankle on top of the right knee. Thread the needle and then pull that right leg towards you. Keep the left toes flexed. Breathe into this. Left toes are nice and flexed here. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. And then send the legs up the wall again. Try and straighten the legs as much as you can. Plant the palms evenly on the mat. We're going to slowly lower the legs all the way down. Very, very slowly. Use the core. Keep the low back cemented into the ground all the way down. And then just take a deep breath here. Inhale. And a deep exhale. One more time. Inhale. Deep exhale. Bend the knees. And then place the feet to the outer edges of the mat. Perfect. Now place the right ankle on the outside edge of the left knee. And you're going to draw the left knee down and in. So the right ankle's on the outside edge of the left knee, drawing the left knee down towards the center line of your mat. Toes are flexed. Breathe. This is one of my favorite stretches for the outside edge of that left hip in the left quad. Breathe into it. Release the right ankle and then switch out the feet. Start with the feet to the outer edges of the mat. This time bring the left ankle to the outside of the right knee. And then exhale, draw that right knee down and in towards the center line. Toes remain flexed. So good, so strong. Breathe with it. Focusing on the breath. And if the mind starts to shift and go into think mode of what you have to do for dinner, where you have to be next, or what else you have to do tonight, I encourage you to focus on the breath. The stillness of these postures can be challenging. I know that. Deep inhale, deep exhale. The most important part of this practice is being able to control the breath and the mind. The postures are secondary. Deep inhale. Exhale, slowly release. Release that left ankle. Bring the knees to the inside of or into your chest. And then from here, we're going to take plow pose. So if you know plow pose, feel free to go ahead and get into plow. What you're going to want to do is bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, lift the glutes up off the mat. The hands come immediately to the low back. You're creating a foundation for yourself, and your hands are there for support and stability, okay? Straighten the legs up, and then start to really grab the back. Use your hands, they never leave the low back, and then slowly start to trace the feet and the legs back behind you. Lift energy up through the sacrum to the sky. If the toes can touch the mat behind you, great. If not, they can just hover. You can get playful here, but please do not let the hands leave the low back. Neck is long on the mat. Open the airway. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Start to play with shoulder stand by lifting the feet up. Hands never leave the low back. They're there for support. Lift up through the toes. And then if you want to bend the knees and bring the knees to the outside edges of your head, this is called Deaf Man's Pose. Hands are still strong at the low back. And then from here, slowly and gently use the hands to guide you in the spine all the way back down. Beautiful. And bring the soles of the feet to touch. Let the knees go wide. Supta Baddha Konasana. Left hand to the heart, right hand to the belly, and just simply breathe. Sometimes those inversions can feel a little intense. Just breathe back into it. Focus on the breath. Let gravity take hold. So good. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Reach down, grab the outside edges of your legs, pull your knees back together. Knees come into chest, and then we'll take happy baby pose again. Inhale and exhale, let the seat sink further down as you kick the heels higher, straighten one leg then the other. Doing what feels good for you and your body right now. Opening up those hips, telling yourself something nice, encouraging. And then go ahead and bring the knees into the chest again one last time. Lift the chest off the mat, wrap the forearms around the shins, hug everything into a tight, tight little ball. Deep inhale. Exhale, final Shavasana. Open the toes up to the sky, palms up to the sky. Just simply let gravity take hold here, sinking in completely, letting everything go. If you have a blanket and you want to cover your body up, you can do that. Or you can place it underneath the neck if that feels better. And then just simply relax. This is the most important part. Just allowing the body to soak up all the postures, the benefits of each of the postures and poses we just did. Just simply relax, just simply be. Right where you are is exactly where you're supposed to be. I will guide you out of this Shavasana. Just let these next moments be yours. We'll seal in the practice together with a breath in a few moments. Deep inhale. Begin to deepen the breath. Open mouth exhales. Inhale again. Exhale it out. Slowly start to find movement in the fingers and the toes. Bringing awareness back to the body. And when you're ready, take a gentle, full body stretch. Reaching in opposite directions with the hands and the feet. And gently roll to the right or the left. The fetal position. Slowly push yourself up to a comfortable seat with the legs crossed, a nice tall spine, and the hands resting on the thighs. I like to seal in the practices that we share together with a cleansing breath. We'll start with taking a deep inhale, fill up. Open mouth, exhale. One more time, inhale, fill. Exhale, empty. Inhale the hands to the heart center, preparing for the cleansing breath. Exhale out all the air. Here it is. Big inhale, fill up. When you get to the top, hold. Take one more sip. One more sip. Open mouth, exhale, cleansing breath. Inhale the thumbs to the third eye center, the space between the eyebrows, the seed of intuition that lies within each and every one of us. I'll close with this mantra, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings be free from suffering and pain, and may my thoughts, actions, and words contribute to the overall peace on earth. Namaste. Thank you all so much, yogis. That was relaxing and super juicy and so nice and calming. I hope you all enjoyed it. Hi, Brittany. Hi, Alejandra. Hello, Lionel. Aaron, how are you? Hello, everyone. Kathy. Lydia, how are you, girls? So good to see everybody. I hope you enjoyed that calming practice. That was a very mellow, relaxing, grounding practice, and I hope you can keep that energy moving into your evening, keeping the breath consistent, open mouth exhales always, deep inhales always, and deep exhales always. Move through your evening with peace and grace and with slow motion, and drink lots of water. All right, everyone, enjoy your night. I will see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock for the last yoga class of this week, and I hope to see you guys all then. All right, enjoy your night. Namaste.